What if I told you that millions of Americans making $70,000, $90,000, even $120,000 a year still feel like they're falling behind? They went to college, they got the job, they followed the rules, and yet every single month feels like a financial survival game. Groceries cost more, rent keeps climbing, gas prices jump like crazy, and somehow, no matter how hard they work, their money never seems to get ahead. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Right now, millions of Americans have their savings sitting in bank accounts earning almost nothing. Not 3%, not even 1%. Sometimes just 0.01%. Which means while inflation quietly eats away their money, banks are using that same cash to make billions of dollars. So in this video, we're going to expose why the American middle class feels poorer than ever, how banks quietly profit from your savings, and the simple financial switch that could start earning you hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year without investing in the stock market and without taking any risk. This is the story of the middle class squeeze. Imagine this. You wake up early, you work 8 hours a day, you do everything society told you to do. You went to school, you got a job, you pay your taxes. And yet, every month feels like a financial survival game. Groceries cost more, rent keeps rising, gas prices fluctuate like crazy. And somehow, even people making $70,000, $90,000, even $120,000 a year feel like they're barely keeping up. Welcome to something economists call the middle class squeeze. But here's the crazy part. There's a simple financial trick, a tool hiding in plain sight that most Americans are not using. A tool that could literally earn you hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per year without investing in the stock market, without taking risk, without doing anything complicated. It's called high-yield savings accounts. And today, we're going to expose why the middle class feels poorer than ever, how banks quietly profit from your savings, and the one simple switch that could start earning you real money on your cash. For decades, the American middle class represented stability, a decent home, a reliable car, family vacations, college for the kids. But over the last 20 years, something changed. Wages increased slowly, but the cost of living exploded. Housing prices skyrocketed. Healthcare costs doubled. Education became insanely expensive. Groceries, gas, insurance, everything went up, except your paycheck. This is what economists call real wage stagnation. Your income might look higher on paper, but after inflation, you're often not actually richer. In fact, many middle-class families today feel poorer than their parents did. And here's the shocking statistic. Nearly 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Even households earning six figures often feel financially stressed. Why? Because income isn't the only factor. Financial systems matter, and many people unknowingly use systems that quietly drain their wealth. Let's talk about something most people never question: their bank account. Millions of Americans store their savings in traditional banks, checking accounts, standard savings accounts, accounts offered by giant banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank. These banks feel safe, trusted, normal. But here's the shocking truth. Most traditional savings accounts pay almost nothing in interest, sometimes 0.01% per year. Let's put that into perspective. If you saved $10,000 in a normal savings account at 0.01% interest, after 1 year, you'd earn about $1. Yes, $1. Meanwhile, those same banks take your money and lend it out at much higher rates. Mortgages, credit cards, business loans, and they earn billions. Your money works for them, but not for you. Now add another layer to the problem: inflation. Inflation means the purchasing power of your money decreases over time. If inflation is 3 to 5% per year, but your savings account earns 0.01%, you're actually losing money every year, even though your bank balance stays the same. This is called negative real return. Your money looks safe, but it's slowly shrinking in value. This is one of the biggest financial mistakes middle-class families unknowingly make, keeping thousands of dollars in accounts that earn almost nothing. But here's where things get interesting, because not all savings accounts are the same. Some banks offer something called high-yield savings accounts. Instead of paying 0.01% interest, these accounts can pay 4%, sometimes even 5% annually. That's hundreds of times more interest. Let's do the math. $10,000 in a traditional savings account, interest after 1 year, about $1. $10,000 in a high-yield savings account at 4.5%, interest after 1 year, about $450. That's 450 times more money for doing nothing except choosing a smarter bank. So if this is such an obvious upgrade, why don't more people use high-yield savings accounts? 3 reasons. First, traditional banks rarely advertise better options because low-interest accounts are extremely profitable for them. Second, many people assume switching banks is complicated. In reality, it often takes less than 10 minutes online. Third, most people simply never learn basic financial systems. Schools teach algebra, history, chemistry, but almost nothing about interest rates, saving strategy, or financial optimization. So millions of people unknowingly accept bad financial tools. In the last decade, a new type of bank emerged: digital-first financial companies, online banks without expensive physical branches. Because they operate more efficiently, they can offer customers much higher interest rates. Some of the most popular high-yield savings providers include Ally Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, SoFi, and Capital One. These banks often offer 4 to 5% annual interest on savings, and they're usually insured by the same federal protection, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, meaning deposits up to $250,000 are protected, just like traditional banks. Let's imagine 2 people, John and Sarah. Both save $20,000. John keeps his money in a traditional savings account, earning 0.01%. After 1 year, John earns about $2. Sarah moves her savings to a 4.5% high-yield account. After 1 year, Sarah earns $900. After 5 years, Sarah earns thousands more than John. Not because she worked harder, not because she invested in risky stocks, simply because she chose a better financial system. Financial experts recommend something called an emergency fund, usually 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This money should be safe, liquid, accessible, not invested in volatile assets, which makes high-yield savings accounts perfect for emergency funds. Your money stays safe, but still earns meaningful interest. The middle-class squeeze isn't just economic, it's psychological. When people feel financially stuck, they assume the only solution is earning more money. And yes, increasing income helps, but sometimes the real solution is optimizing the systems around your money. Where you bank, how you save, where your cash sits. Small changes in these systems can create massive long-term effects. High-yield savings accounts won't make you a millionaire overnight, but they reveal something important. Most people struggle financially not because they're lazy, but because they use default systems that were never designed to help them build wealth. Once you start questioning those systems, you unlock better options. The middle-class squeeze is real. Costs are rising. Life is expensive. But smarter financial tools exist. And sometimes the first step toward financial freedom is as simple as asking one question. Is my money working for me or just sitting in the wrong place.
If you want more videos about building wealth, smart banking strategies, financial systems the rich use, subscribe, because the next video might change the way you see money forever.